Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means time for my Survivor recap. So to recap on tonight's episode, starts off with the Heroes Tribe. They're dealing with Katrina going home last week. Well, not really dealing with it, but it leaves off with that. And I was very surprised when Chrissy didn't use the super idol to save her, because that idol could have only been used that night. And she actually makes an excellent point. Because Chrissy didn't use the idol, now she gets to keep it. It doesn't have any value, but it sure has a lot of power. Because potentially, Chrissy could use that, as she put it, she could use that idol as a decoy, or she can do what David Wright did in Millennials versus Gen X and hide it somewhere and let somebody else find it. They think they found an idol. They did find an idol. And it's not actually a fake idol this time. It's just an idol that has no use at this point. So it's a fake idol, but it's also a real one. Um, Alan's still a bit paranoid about Ashley and JP being a power couple. I mean, Ashley thinks it's ridiculous, but they were kind of giving off those power couple vibes. And Ben said it perfectly clear that they definitely thought they had a core four going on, but it's every man for himself at this point. On the Hustler tribe, Ryan and Devin seem to have still a good alliance, and I really like them two together. They seem like the yin yang. They seem a lot similar to me. Adam and Jay's relationship in Millennials versus Gen X, and they seem to get along pretty well with each other, um, for the most part. Um, we actually get to see Simone's first confessional, and she was a bit annoying to me. She seemed like she was complaining a lot, and I'm like, you're the one that signed up to be out here. I mean, why are you complaining? I mean, that doesn't come off well to the other tribe mates. And Ali sees this as an opportunity. She sees that Simone's not really fitting in with the tribe, and she's kind of quiet, so Ali's trying to, encourage Simone and keep her spirits up, but she also thinks that Simone's very easy to manipulate and she could potentially control her, so basically Simone being like her sidekick. And on the Healers tribe, we see that Cole and Jessica are flirting, and again, have we not learned anything from Figgy and Taylor in Millennials versus Gen X? Power couples are extremely dangerous in the game. And Desi was talking about the fact that she was once Miss Virginia. And I thought it was a bit harsh for Joe to call Mike ugly. I mean, I don't know if they're just like joking or what, but still, I mean, you don't call somebody that. I mean, that's just how I think personally. And I gotta say, I really do think that Joe is Tony 2.0 because he's actually thinking smart. He wants to go search for an idol, but he doesn't want to do it when everybody's around. So he actually goes searching and he finds this pattern on a tree and he's wondering where this could be. And he thinks that this pattern is like a raft. And here, Cole's been out there fishing all day on the raft. And you would think if Cole's been out there all day, he would have found it by now. So Joe actually makes a bold move and actually tells Cole about the um, painting mark he found on the tree. And Cole's a bit skeptical, and anybody would be, because who would tell you that kind of information? And Cole actually points out that that's not the raft, that's actually the water well. So I'm just staring there looking like, why aren't those two running? If I would have found out that the idol is hidden right by the water well instead of in the water, I would have been sprinting to go and dig and find it. So both Cole and Joe are digging, and sure enough, Joe actually finds the first immunity idol of the season. I know Ryan last week found a super idol, but this is just an immunity idol. So congratulations to Joe on finding the immunity idol. But now that kind of backfires because Cole actually knows that Joe has it. So now that's actually dangerous to Joe's game in the future. And back on the Heroes tribe, we see JP fishing, and he seems like he's pretty laid back for the most part. He seems like he's pretty chill considering, what happened last week. And he's also sick of the power couple trip, but I mean the power couple name, but as much as Alan sounded a bit paranoid, he did have a point about Ashley and JP being a power couple. And JP tries to reassure Chrissy that, he doesn't have an idol. And Chrissy is at a really good place in the game right now. She's trying to debate who she can align with because her being an actuary, she analyzes stuff all the time, and she doesn't want to align with Alan for, obvious reasons. She harshly says that she doesn't think JP is that smart. I think JP is pretty smart from what I've seen. And Ashley, she said, is a good player, but doesn't want to align with her. So she thinks that Ben would be the perfect person to align with. So now the actual power couple on that team is Ben and Chrissy. And we see on the Hustlers tribe that Patrick is apparently scared of crabs. He must be really scared of crabs because I think he took it to the upteenth degree. But Lauren's getting pretty sick of Patrick. She thinks he's loud and a bit obnoxious and too much, and I can kind of see where she's coming from, but I also think she's kind of getting annoyed too quick with him and letting things bother her. And Lauren also doesn't know who she wants to align with. She's kind of like Simone, doesn't know who to align with, so she thinks that Allie would be a good person to align with. And I think Allie's in a really good spot in this game because everybody wants to align with Allie. So the challenge, they have to swim they have to swim out on this floating net ring, and this maze puzzle is, no, not a maze puzzle. This puzzle's in the water, so they have to maneuver it through these rings, and two members will solve this spinning sign puzzle. So Joe and Lauren were the sit-outs, and the Hustlers actually had a huge lead. They were leading it. I so thought Hustlers were going to win. And Healers were really dead last. They were like that for a while. And the Hustlers lost their lead when Simone and Allie couldn't get the puzzle to work. Simone wasn't really good at the puzzles, and that actually cost them the win. The Healers actually won immunity first, so they won a fishing kit, and Heroes actually won the second immunity, so they got just like a lines and lures. So the Hustlers are sent to tribal council. And back at camp, Simone's apologizing for losing the challenge, and she knows that she's going home, but apologizing's not really gonna, I mean, it's good she apologized, but apologizing isn't really gonna do much because now they all have to go to tribal and vote somebody off now. And Simone wants Patrick gone because a lot of people are finding Patrick annoying, and vice versa. Patrick wants Simone gone. And a lot of people are unsure who to go with. Allie has been aligned with Patrick since day one, but she also thinks that Simone is easy to manipulate. And she says the same exact thing to Ryan, that Simone, they can easily persuade to their side. So both Ryan and Allie are unsure where they want to go. And at tribal council, Ryan describes this as a birthday party. Tribal council, he describes as being a birthday party you don't want to go to, but you like all the people there. I thought it was funny. But Lauren points out that it's actually a funeral. I wouldn't go that far saying tribal council's a funeral, but whatever. Allie made a point saying that at this time in the game you have to have people you can trust, and you want to move forward from this loss. And Simone points out that old school survivor would vote the weakest off first, where new school survivor would vote off who they trust the least. And I guess I kind of have the old school mindset because I believe every time you enter a challenge, you have a responsibility to your tribe, and if you mess up, you have to be held accountable, and you face that risk of being voted off. And sure enough, Simone was the one that actually got sent home, and I definitely think that I definitely saw that coming. I knew Simone was going to go home. She seemed like she was complaining too much, and she did was the reason why they lost the challenge. So I definitely think they're voting right, not just because my people that I want to win are still in it, but I just feel like they're getting rid of the right people first. And like I said, Simone did own up to the fact that she caused the tribe to lose the challenge, but like I said, you run that risk of when you participate in the challenge, and you have to be held accountable and responsible. So, yeah, I'm actually excited for next week. The previews for next week show that Lauren and Patrick's rivalry come to a head, and they're apparently arguing back and forth. So I bet you that's gonna come up next week. And Cole and Jessica seem very flirty, but Cole actually tells Jessica that Joe has the idol, and I definitely think I thought Joe was playing smart by going out to look for the idol and spending all that time looking for it, but I definitely think it was a stupid move to tell somebody about the idol. I mean, I get you want to build trust, but you don't tell somebody about an idol clue because then they can use that against you. I mean, Cole could have easily went and found the idol himself. So now both Jessica and Cole want to flush out the idol next week. So it should be interesting, as Survivor always is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Survivor. If you guys want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Till next time, stay regal.